Today is January 30th, 2023. I'm going to try to keep this as short as possible, but try to put enough information in there to start thinking about this. Um, First of all, I want to tell you something funny, and you're going to die because it is funny. Well, everybody knows I'm an FBI informant. They bugged my car and then they stole the login. And the only perk out of it, is I can say something about these people and they all hear. I don't have to yell it to say it in my car. Okay. Uh, so I want. All right. We all know it's drug dealers doing it, and that agent owed drug dealers. Okay. And that's why all this happened. It was his drug dealing guys that he owed to. One of the people that helped out was that a group of men was a gentleman's club from Florida. Do you know what a gentleman's club is? It's like a male strip club for gay guys. He owed a gay strip club that was in drugs. They all are. When it gets into that kind of scenery. And his wife is a heavyset older white lady. So you want to harass me because your husband's in drugs and he has to go to a male strip club and got in debt with some male strippers that he did drugs with. They came up and helped hurt me. Okay. You're that bad in bed, lady, huh? That your husband had to go get some male gay strippers? I got out at McDonald's. She drove by. Not true, not true. Oh, told you, it's the only perk. You want to follow me, harass me? It's like, hey, my husband may have tried to kill me because he wanted his freedom and wanted other women. But at least he wasn't out there hiring gay male strippers. And he was in debt to him for drugs and yeah, at least that wasn't the problem. Mm-hmm. He just wanted his freedom. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's like I said, it's the only perk. My car's bugged. They sold the login. They haul in. Yeah. But seriously, okay. No, straight face. All right. All right. So, oh, these people are horrid. Getting one back at them is the only perk. All right. So, but seriously, now my phone's tapped and my life's been under surveillance for 4 years. Okay. From the protected custody case that agent opened. Because he had to open it to steal the $5,000 a month. Okay. So, February or March of 19, I'm in Belden Village. I'm walking around the mall to distress. Okay. I'm down by Dillard's, go to Turner's clothing aisle, clothing stores. Some guy said, it's nothing but a bunch of drug dealers doing this to her. He said, what? That's not funny. He said, no, it's a bunch of child molesters too. He said, that's who's doing it to her. And I thought, that's the meanest lie in the world. And I thought, what on earth? He's like, no, I'm serious. It is nothing but a bunch of child molesters doing this and a bunch of drug addicts. That's it. And he was in there telling some guy in the mall. Well, I walked away from him. I thought, what on earth? Okay. Well, I hadn't left Dave. So it's like February or beginning of March of 19. Now, I worked at CSE Bank the end of 19 and into 20. This one guy, boringest guy on earth, come in and talk to me. Okay? Well, I went out and there was a note on my car. Okay? And I thought, who's that from? It had a weird name on it. I called him like, hello? And it was a different name he was using. And he's like, I want to talk to you later. I'm like, okay. And I thought, what on earth? So I got a hold of him later and I thought, I got to get rid of this guy. He starts talking to me and he's so boring. He makes my head hurt. Head hurt. He's that boring, okay? He he said, how did he said, God told me to wait for you. I said, God told you nothing. God didn't tell you to wait for me. He's like, I know how to treat a lady right. I said, that's silly. He said something else. He's like, well, I had a really bad divorce too. I said, well, why is that? Oh, he just got out a few years before that for child molestation. I screamed at him, swore at him, told him to stay the hell away from me. I think I hung up before I called him a fucking bastard. I told my manager, and the police told him he wasn't allowed back in the bank. He had been stalking me, knowing which car I was, and he's a weirdo. Okay? And he wasn't allowed near me again. All right? But I want you to think where that agent, out of his area, I lived in Portage County. I called the FBI hotline on all those threats. I Googled who's over Portage County. It's Akron. Not an FBI task force in the Canton courthouse. They didn't have jurisdiction. Even though FBI can be pulled and work anywhere, it wouldn't go to them. See what I mean? He was the one in that store that day. They have bragged it was him. He was the one that told on the church. He's the one that bullied me into a false statement saying I was lying when I wasn't under a threat of arrest. He also is the one that stole the money. And it's come out that it's because he was in debt to all these drug dealers. Now, yesterday, on January 29th, 2023, I went to go to Acme, click on North Main, a little after 3. Okay. Some guys walk in from the case. You want me to ID some guys? The one with the black hair and the male bun is with another guy. Henry sent us down here to find out what's going on. Someone called him. I thought we were done with her. We took, she didn't get any money out of this, and we took it. I got away from him. Henry is Henry Mafia from Facebook and Instagram. He's the one with the black hair and beard. As soon as they started trying to kill me, he texted me. He thought I was beautiful. Okay? And what's scary is he showed up. Followed me, showed up in a regular car. Do you know what he had with it by January? Several vets from the cell in the login. It's one of the drug dealers. That agent owned. See, they got a bunch of crackheads down here watching me. Wanting to buy, screaming stuff, where I'm working, come in stores, take videos of them screaming, and then uploading it to where they hacked into the protected custody case and sold it for money, like a reality show, like Naked and Afraid, or this or that, but here it is, an FBI case. And of them screaming stuff at me, and then see if they got where people bought more of the login, where they sold it for $25 a pop, and we're talking by October, Will found another way to come up, make more money off this case. He's going to sell the login for $25 a pop. See if they can't get more drug money. Everything's about a drug score. See, that's one thing. I was talking to this one lady at work. She said, you know what's bad about drug addicts? All they care about is the next fix. All they care about is they don't care who they hurt, who they kill, as long as they get that next drug fix. You got to think they're into heroin, cocaine, meth. They're drug dealers. And these people are so stupid. Here they are, drug dealers, knowing they're date rape drugging me. They handed them their children. And they knew they raped me. They handed them their children. They're drug dealers that rape people, and they handed them their children. Will took me out today. Will made it up to me today. It's sick. They raped her. It's sick. Little 5-year-old babies. My one client was a young guy, had anger issues. You know, he's like, Karen, this is crazy. People coming up and saying they drugged you and told you to say stuff before, and they admit to raping you in front of people. Even my client on Turquoise Street, across the street, is split level. Been talking to the camp police. They've been telling everybody, stay out of this. They already knew the tapes before with them and not me, because all these people have told on them. And those kids were out there talking. We all know they raped her and it was wrong. And for them to show that to little kids, little girls, it is child molesting. Very much. Very much. They handed their kids heroin addicts. Here, you're strung out on drugs, take my baby. Go buy him a $500 cell phone. That's how stupid all this is. They weren't even scared of heroin addicts, drug addicts, meth dealers. They don't care. All they cared about is the next fix. And other people, whether they could profit off of it. Huh? That's why they broke in and stole my clothes when I first moved out. Because they had to have that next drug fix. That's all they wanted was their drugs. They don't care who they hurt or kill. Rape, take a video of it, put it online, so that they can get a little more drug fix. Everything's a scam. You do realize how bad this is. Now, the agent that called me back from the Starr County FBI Task Force, Dave was dating his daughter, Michelle. Her brother, Alec, or Alex, the white-haired guy with his hair parted on the side, you do know he tried to kill me, personally. On 12/21/18, I had got a shower. I went, put a house coat on, went to the refrigerator, opened up the door. I was stabbed in the neck. Foggy, hazy, dark, bright light. Do you know what the bright light was? They bashed me in the back of the head. My skull's caved in. I still have a dent. Okay? And then all of a sudden, I wake up in bed. 6 hours later, I got marks all over me. Bruises on my neck. I got bruises all over me. Arms, legs. There's a white comb on Dave's dresser. Okay. He's accusing me of having an affair. I don't know what happened. My head's pounding. That's attempted murder. That's attempted murder. My husband's girlfriend's brother and his drug friends broke in my house and almost murdered me because his sister was dating my husband, and him and his drug friends almost killed me and sold videos of it. January 4th to January 12th of 19, I was in Bob Evans. I met my one old friend, Darlene. I walked by, and the one guy with him went, "You idiot, you left your comb over there." He's like, "I had almost a naked lady laying next to me. You're lucky I only combed her hair." That means he was the one holding me down while those bastards were assaulting me. That's attempted murder. He almost murdered me. Then to cover it up, that horrific crime, they told everybody they put a chip in me, so then they had people walk by, have their cell phones go off for trying to prove the scam. And they went so elaborate with it. On March 13, 21, okay, I went to Altman Hospital because I get headaches from all this, okay? I go in, and they have fake FBI badges. Fake ones. Do you know how much it costs for an FBI badge? Like $25 on Amazon. People really need to verify badges. Have the police verify them. Okay, call them in. Because it costs $25. Okay? So, I'm sorry, my face itches. Okay, $25. They let him in the back. They told Dr. Helen and Tina it's the same scam. My neighbor, Amy, she's like, "Karen, I heard him laughing that they drugged you up and told you to say that about the chip. Da-da-da-da-da," and they were laughing outside. She said, "I've heard them admit to drugging you and telling all kinds of stuff outside. And they were date rape drugging you." Okay? It's a scam. It's a scam. For where they tried that Alec had almost murdered me, him and his friends, for his sister. The agent that called me back, his own son almost murdered me and his drug friends. To cover it up, they made up that scam. And they sold a video of it. People have laughed at me. Do you know there was on the Department of Justice, another FBI agent stole like $200,000 or $300,000, went gambling out in Vegas. They arrested him. He stole from that case. They're exposed to so much ungodly money, and they're exposed to so much sin that people that can't resist it, they fall for it. It happens all the time. They'll say, "Police officer and FBI agent arrested for scam, da-da-da years, da-da-da, this one. They get into where they think they're invincible, and they're not. It's just a bunch of drug dealers doing scams and stealing embezzlement for the federal government. See, that agent, he opened that protected custody case after he bullied me into saying I was lying when I wasn't, when I tried to report what happened at Huntington Bank. You liar, you confess you're lying. I had the bankers witnessing a big part of it. He probably found it on tape. He knew it, and I had him. And he didn't want it because it was his scam. And he's screaming at me, you either say it or I'll put you in jail. And I'm like, what? But this happened. The banker's seen them walk off together. Da, da, da. And she's getting paid. You say it or else I'll arrest you. He can't. You have to take your statement if they believe you or not. If they believe you or not. It's badgering. Department of Justice. A victim, a witness, or an informant trying to give a statement. They have to take your statement and they have to follow through. It's badgering. Badgering is an obstruction of justice and tampering with evidence. It's bullying somebody. Okay? So, yeah. And the Canton Police, November 24, 22, to the nurse at Mercy Medical, the agent that bullied her into saying she was lying when she wasn't. I was telling the nurse that. They already know that. I tried to tell them what happened at Huntington Bank. I had witnesses. They could still go back in those bankers and they'd witness it. That lady got paid to stalk me and they seen them walk off together. It's that bad. See, they're already doing their investigation. See, that's where he's just trying to pull a fast one. They made me plead for my life and then open it, because if he thought I was lying, if he opened the case, it would have been fraud. See, he knew I wasn't lying. And then the $5,000 a month living expenses, diplomatic immunity, the card, you know what and police home surveillance. You know what I got? The police home surveillance. That's it. I got nothing else. He put it all in his pocket to pay off these drug dealers. That's where I went out to eat with that person. And I'm sitting there talking. He said, I know someone who knows someone who deals drugs. He said, I went to him and told him what you said. He said that they knew of it. Okay. And they all know that I didn't know that agent was using those drug dealers. They were willing to come in this area and hurt you because he owed them money. And to keep hurting you until he paid them off and then made enough money to buy a new drug shipment. And they all knew that you didn't know he was doing that to you. And that's why it was happening. It's a big drug scam, my heads. That's it. Everything's a drug scam. Having people run by, take videos of them screaming stuff at me, a bunch of heroin addicts, bunch of meth, whatever. They're driving by, screaming, and they take videos and upload the harassment. How pathetic are they? Pathetic. Run in the store. She got charges. No, I don't. I just passed another FBI background check. Am I in trouble for some crackheads, some meth addicts, heroin addicts breaking in my house, kicking in my door? No. Am I in trouble for them setting up bionic cameras and they're a bunch of crackheads? No. Am I in trouble for them breaking in and date rape drugging me and telling me to say something stupid? No. Am I in trouble with their stalking tapes that they Photoshop shower scenes? No. Does that make me a victim? Yes. Am I in trouble that my ex-husband, my husband at the time, his new girlfriend was messed up with that, and her dad just happened to be an agent out of that area and was helping him out? No, that makes him a criminal. Police and agencies can only be in a home under a threat of life and have to speak to everyone before they start. So, Fourth Amendment. You have a right to be safe and secure in your own home. You also have the Fifth of a right to remain quiet. Sixth, to an attorney. Seventh, to a fair and speedy court trial. Eighth, not to be mistreated. In the First Amendment of a freedom of speech. See, that's where, when he opened it and he put it in the courts, a sitting judge had to sign it. They can't say, if you tell someone I'll list you crazy, no one can help you. Failure to protect is abuse and misconduct. He was still badgering me. He was bullying me. And he can't list me crazy. He's not a psychiatrist. It's all a big scam, a front, and people took him literally. How stupid and low IQ for anybody to fall for a bunch of heroin, drug, meth dealers down here, pulling a fast one with a dirty cop in front of him. You do realize Federal Bureau of Investigators are just hire cops. They're like marshals, Secret Service police. There's all cops, just different levels. My brother-in-law, Craig, that died working for the government, he was CIA. It's different. It's military. Mm-hmm. And they try to keep an eye on the world. See, that's different. What my brother-in-law did. And I'll tell you what, he, being FBI, he knew about Craig. I come up as a family member of a high government official that was killed under suspicious circumstances with 4 attempts on his life before that. Within the year before he died, make sure another terrorist group didn't try to get a hold of me or my other family member or his. Because if anything popped up, if it's related back to his death, because he was supposed to be on that Ireland plane that got blew up. He was also, remember when that one restaurant got blown up in Africa, early 1990s, last of 80. He was supposed to be in there. He ate there all month long. His interpreter took him home to eat that night, and they blew it up. The airplane that got blown up over Ireland, he was supposed to be on it. He was at the airport in the last minute, changed his mind, and went and bought Lori something my sister Lori something in another country. And then they shot up an office building and then a hotel where he was, and he had to hide not to get killed. And I'll be like his dad, Mel. I don't believe his death was an accident. He was moving paperwork between the building, and he's the 3rd car back. A gravel truck comes around the road. You do basic, even biomechanics of how it would be set up. You go around a corner with a gravel truck. If it's going to tip, it's going to tip on the 1st or 2nd car. He was the 3rd car back and only on his. Flipped over. His dad's like, you can't tell me that was an accident. Crushed him to death. The 4 attempts and then that. Well, they followed us around for a long time, making sure that some terrorist group didn't try to kill us too. So, him getting killed like that and being CIA, yeah, we come up as extended family members. See what I mean? My brother he does the machinist and he does some government work. And then you have to pass your FBI background check. They said, just pass them, don't ask questions. Said, did you ever do something wrong? You're in some kind of program? He said, no. He went back and talked to him. He said, they said, you're a really good person, just pass you. He started laughing. We were talking about it. He said, you know, that's Craig. I said, I know. I don't want anybody to say, hey, we just keep an eye on him. Make sure that it wasn't another part of a terrorist group. See what I mean? Because they told Mel to stay out of it. And because he was furious. His only son was dead. Our country lost a wonderful man that was helping design all kinds of war weapons and spyware. And our family member lost a loving part of our lives. And society lost a kind, gentle man that was helping our country grow safer. It was tragic that he died. And everybody. So that agent knew that. Made me beg for my life and why would I help. I had to mention that he died working for the government. Fine, I'll help you. He was going to help me anyways. He just wanted to bully me. Belittle me. So I'd be too afraid to say anything. So he could steal the money. So he could pay off all these drug dealers. I told you I was in Acme Click. Or not Acme Click. Acme store on North Main in Canton. Okay? Around a little after 3 yesterday. A guy, tall white guy with black hair and a man bun, and the guy next to him came in, and Henry Moffey sent him, and he's one of the drug dealers too. That agent was dealing with that owed all these money. Dave Hall didn't get any money. He still drives the 2015 truck that I helped him get when we were still married. It was only a year or two old. He would already had a newer truck if we were still together. He didn't get any because he's still driving the old truck. We were looking to get him a newer boat by spring. You know that, right? I figured you only live once. You might as well enjoy what you have. And there was just us. You know, I made a mistake on the other video and I had to redo this. It was so much better. Do you want to know who Karen Hall is? Karen Hall, and what my life and my reality was? For 33 years, I was Dave Hall's wife. Even some of the people the idiots help out, that's Dave's wife. I was known as Dave Hall's wife. I loved my husband with all my heart, all my soul, and with every breath I took, and with every heartbeat. I waited on him like he was a king. I'd wash his back, I'd towel dry him, I'd lay his clothes out, I'd make his favorite foods, and walk him to the front door and let him out. I may have done banking and loan processing, but I was his wife. He would hurt me really bad if he got mad and then make it up to me for a year and a half. You should never live like that, because men like that will kill you. My feelings towards him, for 33 years, I was his wife, and a good wife that was faithful. I was a mother of 3 sons, extremely proud of, and I would brag to everyone on them. I was a grandmother of 10 grandchildren that I talked about like they were priceless rubies or priceless diamonds, and each one of them was a piece of my heart. Dave used to say, Karen, those little ones have you wrapped around their little fingers. They look at you and smile and say, Grandma, and you get them whatever they want. It's part of being Grandma. You don't have to be Mom. You don't have to discipline them. You just get to love them. And they're a part of you, an extension of you going on. They're the future of the nation. Now I want you to think of that. A woman that was married 33 years, loved her husband with all her heart, mind, and soul, and with every heartbeat. Faithful for 33 years. Adored him. A proud mother of 3 sons that she always bragged on. And a wonderful, proud grandmother of 10 that I looked like they were priceless rubies and priceless diamonds that I treasured. And they had a piece of my heart. And they had me wrapped around their little fingers. They just look at me and say, Grandma, I want this. Grandma, can I have this? It's like, I'll see what I can do. Or where's your father? Then say, can you not afford it? Then go today. Because I loved him. That's where I'm just a drug deal to these people to make money for their drug addiction. That was my reality. That was my existence. That was my life. That these people were willing to destroy for a drug fix and a drug debt. To totally destroy, to rape, to torture me, to sell videos of it, to destroy my heart and soul for a drug fix, so that they could pay off their drug debts and make more money. That's what happened to me. For a bunch of drug addicts to get drug money. I have no charges. I've never been questioned of wrongdoing. I've never been prosecuted. I've never been found guilty. Everything's a scam by a bunch of drug dealers and basically a dirty agent. Someone called him a paid-off dirty agent a long time ago, March of 19. And he's just a higher officer that's messed up in all these drugs. And he's not the first one that's ever done any crime. But this one, for people's low IQs, he's got away with it this far. And he needs to get arrested. He's dangerous. Because him and his drug friends are ready to attack somebody else to make a big drug deal again. And they will kill you. They will rape you. They will sell it on the internet. So they can get another drug fix. Think about this. That's all I've been going on.